another little video for the parents, a couple of minutes just talking to you about how we teach the children sounds and what it would be useful for you to be doing at home. Focusing mainly on our nursery children who are just beginning to learn some of the sounds that I'm going to be showing you now. In your child's new pack, you'll have a set of flashcards like these where you'll see they've got a letter, and then with that letter they've got a picture. These are the Read Write Ink cards. It's a scheme that we follow, and it's a really successful scheme in teaching the children to be able to read, to blend sounds together quite quickly, and also to recognise the letters. The point we'd like the children to be at in nursery is that they're recognising the picture, not necessarily the letter yet. You'll notice on the back of this one we've got the letter on its own. You won't have that on yours, you'll just have the picture, because what I really want your children to do is to become familiar with what the picture is, and you can tell them the sound, and then eventually they'll be able to link that to the picture independently. So for example, this one is yak. So you would want your child to look at this and say yak, and you could say, that's right, yak. And then eventually your child will start to say, oh, it's yak. And then after that, it will be and they'll be able to recognise it without the picture as a clue. But for our nursery children, just focus on those pictures. It's much more fun for them, and it's easier for you to do at home as well. Okay, so you'll have a full set of those. What I'm going to do now is just briefly talk you through how we say the sounds, because I know lots of people probably won't be familiar with that, and it will be a long time since you've had to think about teaching your child how to say a particular sound. Read Write Ink groups the sounds into two different groups. We've got bouncy sounds, which I've got here, and stretchy ones. So bouncy sounds are the ones that sound like you can bounce them. So ah, 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 b, 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 b. And then the stretchy ones that make a longer sound. So something like f or So I'll talk you through these. There's lots of videos online. If you search Read Write Ink on YouTube, you'll probably find much better ones than this, but this is just a brief going over for you so you can teach your child them correctly at home. So here we've got apple, a. Boot, b. Caterpillar, k. Dinosaur, d. Egg, e. Girl, g. Horse, h. A quiet sound. Try not to say h. Make sure it's that quiet sound. H. Insect, I. J. Jack in the box. K. Kangaroo. P. Pirate. O. Orange. Qu. Queen. T. Tower. Again, try to say t, not t. That's what we call the pure sound. Umbrella. Worm. Not X, this one you'd say x, how it sounds usually at the end of words. Yak. And then here, when there's two sounds together, we call them special friends, because they go together to make one sound, and this is ch. And there's a little story to help the children to remember ch. So the caterpillar is hairy, and he's tickling the horse, and the horse sneezes and he goes ch. So the hairs on the caterpillar's back are tickling the horse, and he says ch. So those are our bouncy sounds. Okay. Here we have our stretchy sounds. So we have flower. Again, try not to say f. It's easier for the children to hear the pure sound in a word, which is l, not l. Go for l, leg. L. Again, not m. Maisie, mountain. The children can say mountain when they look at that picture. N, not n. Knobby and net. And when the children see this picture, they'll say net. So net. These are the trickiest ones for parents, I think, because we're tempted to say m and n and r. And that's harder for the children to hear. If you say it in the pure way, they can hear it much more easily when it's blending in words. So, robot. Snake, not vulture. Zip. Here we've got another special friends one, where we've got a princess who's trapped in a tower, and the horse rescues her, and the princess says, thank you. Here we have The snake is hissing at the horse, and the horse doesn't like it, and he says, shh. And then these last two, we have thing on a string, and unk, I think I stink. Don't worry too much about those two, particularly with our nursery children. They're word endings. Focus on all the other ones for me. So if the children can become familiar with those pictures, that would be brilliant. So I would say spend a couple of minutes a day using them as flashcards, going through, pointing out the pictures to the children, you saying the sound, and do that as regularly as you can. Another brilliant way for the children to be hearing sounds, you can sound out words for them around the house when you're doing everyday things. So you can say, Bobby, can you go and get your at? And eventually Bobby will hear that that's saying hat. Okay, oh, I'm just going to go in the k-r now. I need to nip to the shop, k-r. Or can you shut the d-or for me, please? So just breaking those words down into their individual sounds. You might feel like a little bit of an idiot, but you're going to be at home and no one's going to be around anyway, so it'll be fine. But keep doing that as often as you can. If you notice your child is starting to hear the sound at the beginning of a word, games like I Spy are brilliant. You can do things like, right, we're thinking about the sound mountain today, and if they can hear that sound at the beginning of other words, if you say to them, what does mum begin with, and they can hear if you say, what does mat begin with, and they can hear then you can start to do things like ask them to go around the house, go together, say, right, we've got 1 minute, we've got to find as many things beginning with as we can. You can collect groups of objects, some beginning with say, and some beginning with s. Jumble them all up and ask your child to sort them out using your picture cards. Put the mountain one out and the snake one out and ask your child to sort them into the two groups. If your child's not there yet, don't worry about it. Keep going through the sounds with them. Keep sounding things out around the house through the day, and then again, it's one of those things that when they're ready and they reach that point, they get there by themselves, so long as we're encouraging them along the way. Some of our reception children aren't there yet, that's fine. Some of our nursery children can do it already, that's fine as well. Please don't feel any pressure for your child to be doing it at the same pace as anyone else. Just have fun with it together. Keep going over those flashcards, and if you've got any questions, you know where I am. Brilliant, thank you.